So do you want to do like
do you want to
cast recordings?
I would love to talk about cast recordings, Katie.
Okay, let's talk about cast
I
recording.
love a cast recording.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Thoughts Shared Souls Bared. I'm Katie.
I'm Jill.
And let's talk about cast recordings. But first of all, please give us a 5-star review in the Apple Podcast Store. Give us a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast Store. If you leave us a review, we'll read it on the pod. So go do that now. Super fun, super easy. What's going on, Jill? How are you?
I'm exhausted. Don't know why, but I am. I haven't been at work since Wednesday, and I don't work for the whole next week, but I'm tired.
Oh my God. Look, I'm exhausted too. That fiscal year-end madness.
I think I'm tired because I'm not used to like work where I have to stand on my feet for 8 hours a day and have that much social interaction.
Oh my God. That was my life for 5 years.
I think that's what it is. So
that was my life.
I am having fun at my job. Like, it's not bad. So
I think that'd be fun. I think what you do sounds fun.
I'm having a fun time. I've made a couple like network connections. So
exciting.
Yeah.
But let's talk about cast recordings.
Okay.
You want to start? What's your favorite cast recording?
My favorite cast recording. I'm glad you asked. My favorite cast recording is the Catch Me If You Can 2011 original Broadway cast recording. It makes me the happiest woman ever. My second favorite that is low-key tied is the Company.
Let's talk about Catch Me If You Can.
Let's discuss Catch Me If You Can. That's what I was about to say.
That cast recording. Can we talk about like how much I love Norbert Leo Butz on that cast recording?
Yes.
His performance on that cast recording is phenomenal.
You know what my favorite part of the cast recording is?
Him going dun, 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 dun. Just growls.
Any of the scats. Because Norbert Leo Butz and Aaron Tveit were like, we're gonna scat so hard in this musical and it's gonna be amazing. And they did it and I loved it. But do you know what my favorite song is in Catch Me If You Can?
Doctor's Orders.
That's my favorite scene in Catch Me If You Can. My favorite song is Jet Set.
Because the jet set is the only way to go.
I love Jet Set. That's like, I don't know what, it just brings me so much joy. I literally stole a quote from it for my grad cap.
I love that cast recording.
It's so good and it's so crisp. And it's just
it sounds phenomenal.
Sounds so good. And like, you can't go wrong with the people in it. Like Aaron Tveit, Carrie Butler, Tom Wopat. Okay. That's how I thought you said it, and then I was second guessing myself. Norbert Leo Butz. Like,
the song that Aaron Tveit and Tom Wopat sang, the mouse.
Cream?
Yeah. Wait, Butter Out of Cream. I like that song. Yeah. Honestly, I love Scott Whitman and Mark Shaman. They popped off on that cast album.
So funny because the story behind that song is one of my favorite things, because if you've seen the Catch Me If You Can movie, and if you've read the book, he references the story in the book as well. But in the movie, it's like this huge, it's not really a huge scene, but it's a very like pivotal scene for like Frank Jr. And it's like his dad telling him the story about like, you know, two mice and, you know, you always have to like be the smarter, like work smarter, not harder kind of a thing. And Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, they talk about it. They've talked about it multiple times, and it's like one of my favorite stories. So they were like, we were watching the movie one day, and the second he started telling the story, I heard the song in my head. Like they were like, I knew that was the song that started the musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
Like out of all the scenes in Catch Me If You Can, that was the one that was like, that's the reason we need to turn this into a musical, was for that song. Like, I love that. And then they were like, and then we just imagined like sexy stewardesses and like, that's, and I'm like, no, literally though. Like, yes.
They filmed parts of that. They filmed parts of that at like the airport by my house, which is cool.
Oh, for the movie?
Mm-hmm. They like, you know what that song is? That the song where you just hear someone go, start to percolate? Or what song is that? Because I remember not knowing what the word percolate meant. I remember not knowing what the word percolate meant, and I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, coffee. I feel like that song is in there. And anyway, that's a part that I always think about. Whenever I hear the word percolate, I think about Catch Me If You Can because of something in that, and I don't, it's very like.
I think it is. Hold on. Like, yes, okay. He marched to the south and he stomped to the north. He had to race against fate. He did the cucaracha while those tears poured forth, and senior things began to percolate. That part.
And I was like, what does that word mean? Because that came out in what, 2011, that show?
Yeah.
So I was like 15, 16.
The journey of that show is like crazy though, because it was written in like 2007, 2008, and they premiered Jet Set. That was the first song that anyone ever heard from this musical, and they premiered it at Broadway Bears in 2008. And like, Broadway Bears was like called, hold on, I have the t-shirt from it. I think it's called like Takeoff or something like that. And so it was like based around Jet Set. And then 2008, 2009 was when the pre-Broadway run happened in Denver. And then it didn't
hit in Denver.
Broadway. Yeah, and then it didn't hit Broadway till 2011.
Yeah, that makes sense. Timing-wise, that makes sense.
Right. And so I thought it was really interesting because literally Aaron Tveit was doing Next Normal and Hairspray. Hello. Next Normal and Catch Me If You Can, like, on top of each other, basically.
I was looking at his Wikipedia page for some reason the other day.
Yeah.
And that boy literally was like, Wicked, Next Normal, Wicked, Next Normal. And he just like, he had like 2 weeks off between.
Yeah.
I was looking and I was like, that boy did not stop working.
Do you know something really funny though? When he was in Hairspray, so after he left Hairspray, he was doing like I don't know if it was right after Hairspray or after he was in Wicked, but he was doing like summer stock or something, or like some regional thing. I think it was when he was doing like Calvin Burger or something in Pittsfield. But he said something in an Instagram live, or an Instagram live or something like that, or like a Zoom or something like that. And he was talking about how he was in the middle of doing a regional show and he got a call from like his then girlfriend who was in Hairspray, and she was like, I think you're gonna get a call from like the team. And he was like, okay. And like an hour later they called him and were like, we need you to come and be in the show for like tonight. He hadn't done Hairspray in like 2 years at this point. Like he was out of Hairspray for like 2 years at that point.
I like,
and
when
so
I hear
he
stories
went back
like
into
that.
the city. So he went back into the city and he was like, I did it. It was incredible. Like he was like, I didn't miss a beat. I was impressed with myself. Like he was like, I was so proud of it. And then he said, and then they had to have me come back the next day to do another show because the person was still like, the people were still sick. And or like the links were like still sick or whatever. And so he was like, so they had me come in the next night and it was a disaster. it was like everything from the night before didn't matter anymore. He was like, all of it just like went to shit and it was garbage.
Oh my God. I love hearing stories like that.
Story. I love it.
Because there was that one performance of like If Then where Jen Colella had to go on as Liz / Beth. And it was like, she was completely abandoned, had to like just say, I guess you're going on in this role.
Yeah.
And I have to go on as the lead. And I was like, that's such a weird thing. And I've also heard stories of like somebody who was like in some other show had to go and be like, you did Lion King 10 years ago, didn't you? Go be in that.
Right.
Or like when Desi Oakley got like a call and she just had to fly to London to do Waitress. Like the next
forgot about that.
That was last year. That was like January of last year.
It was. Oh my God.
Like things like that. I'm like,
I love it.
I love stories like that. And it's like, I guess I need to get my passport and I need to fly across the sea.
It's so funny though, because like whenever you think about it, it's like genuinely, it is like a muscle memory thing. Because like I can still, like if you play a song that like I had a dance routine to, I can still do most of the dance. Like I can still like, and if it was a dance from like 10 years ago, I can still do it. It's crazy. And so like, but like thinking about it on that scale is insane to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, no, that makes sense. Doing it at least once, like even just once. I feel like once would be perfect. But like Aaron was like, the second time was like garbage. Like I could see that being the case because that would make sense to me. But I just think that's so funny. Like I don't know what it is, but that story made me laugh so hard.
Okay, so I have his Wikipedia page put up. So
Oh
he
god.
was in Next to Normal,
Mm-hmm.
January 16th through March 16th at
Yeah.
second stage of
Yeah.
2008. And then, and I said March, yeah. And then he did May 10th through June 22nd. He did Saved at Playwrights Horizons.
Which, if you haven't seen it, the bootleg is on YouTube and it's really funny, and I highly suggest watching it for a laugh.
So 2 days later,
Yeah. 2 days. Yeah.
he went into Wicked on
Yep.
Broadway,
Yep.
June 24th through November 9th, 2008.
He was in rehearsals for Wicked while he was doing Saved.
Yeah. So November 9th, 2008. November 21st, 2008, down to Washington, D.C. to do Next to Normal at Arena Stage again. Through January 18th, 2009. January 20th, 2 days later, back to Broadway to do Wicked through March 9th, 2009. March 27th, 2009, back to Next Normal, but this time on Broadway. That man just went boom, 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 boom. He stayed.
When I, like, anytime anyone questions why I think he's one of the most talented men on the planet, that is why. He is he's a unicorn. He is so hardworking, and people don't think he is, but he genuinely is. Like, people are like, no, he's just talented. Like, he just is that good, and he's just like, is that perfect. I'm like, no, he works harder than most people realize. And like, I think it was Robin Herder said something about it too. Like, a lot of people in Moulin Rouge have like talked about this because a lot of people just think, oh, it's just, he's just like this perfect tenor. But like, she and a couple other people are like, y'all don't understand. This man is one of the most hardworking people on Broadway. Like, he works for what he gets. Like, he's never handed anything. He had to audition for Catch Me If You Can for 3 years before he got it. He didn't even get the initial callback for it.
Oof.
Like, fun fact, they were going to have Gavin Creel be Frank.
What was Gavin Creel doing?
He was one of the people auditioning. He was like one of the big names auditioning.
So what did he do instead?
I don't remember. Because I don't know when that audition was. So I don't know if that was like the initial...
Fifth Avenue Theater Catch Me If You Can was July to August 2009. And that matches up with like Hair-ish.
Then that was probably what it was.
I think. Hair was 2009, 2011. One of the two.
Aaron said that the auditions for Catch Me started in 2008.
Okay, so it was 2009 because it was that 2009 Tony Awards that everything went to shit. My favorite thing, because you see the Hair cast recording in there while they're singing at the beginning, and you just hear people like trilling in the background. You're just like, what happened here?
Yeah.
We could spend a whole episode just talking about the 2009 Tonys.
I feel like we should do an episode talking about like every Tony something that we've hated.
2009 gets its own episode. 2009 gets its own episode.
Because that also had discussing why it's the worst idea to have James Corden have hosted it like twice.
I don't think James Corden hosting it twice. He has a Tony Award. He won a Tony Award in 2012.
I don't care. For a play. I don't care.
He's been in like every single movie.
I don't care. That's why I hate him.
Somebody for the Dear Evan Hansen trailer goes, but at least James Corden isn't in this one.
I was like talking to my friend the other day, and I was like, I'm excited for Dear Evan Hansen. I'm gonna watch it. Like, I was like, I'm actually really into it. Like, I'm really excited to see it. I was like, I'm not a super big Dear Evan Hansen fan. I'm very excited to see it. And she was like, is it because James Corden isn't in it?
He's like, not in any of the ones that are coming out this year.
He isn't. 2021 just keeps blessing us.
2009 Tony Awards gets its own episode.
Absolutely. Can we discuss the video from the 2009 Tonys backstage? where they're all dancing, and then you like see like Dolly Parton, Megan Hilty, the guy who played Donkey, Aaron Tveit, Shrek. Like, it's just like the most
Yeah,
chaotic video.
During that episode, it can be the next episode. We'll talk about the 2009 Tonys.
That video gives me so much serotonin.
Okay,
Need to
so I
find it,
want to
'cause
talk
I
about
love it.
the cast recording I want to talk about.
Yeah.
2011
Okay.
Godspell.
I am not a gospel person, so I have only
Neither am
listened to
I,
it, like,
but I
I've only
swear
listened
to
to it, like, once.
God, I swear to God, that cast album, that revival existed just so we could have that cast album. Because
Who's in it?
it's Lindsay Mendez,
Okay.
Hunter Parrish, Uzo Aduba, I think George Salazar, Telly Leung, I already said Hunter Parrish. Literally everybody's in that
That's
production.
insane.
Anna Maria Perez de Tagle.
I love her.
It's everybody.
My
is
favorite
in that
scene
cast
in
album.
Camp Rock, my favorite scene in Camp Rock is the nail polish shit. That makes me laugh so hard every time. I don't know what it is about that woman, but I adore her.
I haven't seen Camp Rock in probably 10 years. But
I
no,
love
that
Camp
if
Rock.
you listen to Lindsay Mendez sing Bless the Lord My Soul, it is,
Yeah.
you will get all of the serotonin. I promise you. And then there's Morgan James, I think is her name. She sings Turn Back, Oh Man. My God, it is we got that revival just so that we could have those vocals on a cast recording singing Stephen Schwartz music.
Do you
It
know
is
what I think?
phenomenal.
Do you know what I think is an underrated song that I forget is from Godspell? Is Beautiful City.
Yes.
I love that song, and I literally forget that it's in Godspell because the only time I listen to it is like when other people cover it. But like, I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so good. And also, can we discuss how Telly Long is like so underrated and
He's
deserves
phenomenal.
to be in everything?
You know what's funny? Today I was for some reason thinking about Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why. I think it's because I saw like Kelly Clarkson. I was like, who did she win against again? And I couldn't remember his name. I'm like, Justin something. So, and I was like, went to my dad and I was like, the guy from the Dr. Pepper commercials.
Really?
I was trying to like explain to my dad or my mom, and I was like, you know, the guy from the Dr. Pepper commercials.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
He goes, "It's a sweet man."
Yeah. I didn't know that was him. That's so funny.
It's so him. I know. I never watched the first time I saw it.
I was never an American Idol person.
Neither was I. I watched one season. I think I watched the Jordan Sparks season. She didn't even win. No, yes, she did. She didn't win. I wanted Taylor Hicks to win, but glad Jordan Sparks did.
I love Jordan
because
Sparks
her Nina and In the Heights, amazing.
So good.
But no, what I'm saying is the Godspell cast recording, it is so good. Because it's like all good gifts. The song All Good Gifts, Telly Leung, phenomenal. Light of the World, I think is George Salazar, amazing.
George Salazar has such a good voice.
He does. But yeah, when I tell you, it's funny if you go onto the Godspell Wikipedia page,
yeah,
it's like Tower of Babel cast, like who sings what song, and it'll say so this one says Save the People, Jesus, and cast. The next one, Day by Day, Anna Maria, and cast. Okay, so are we going by names or are we going by characters?
Actually Jesus performing this song?
Like, no, it's Hunter Parrish, who I adore. I saw him as Claude.
He's Jesus. Katie,
yeah.
Come on.
And then Corbin Bleu replaced him. And I'm pretty sure that cast performed at the Tonys in like 2012.
That sounds right.
I want to say. Corbin Bleu, God, I want to see him in a show. I want him.
We were supposed to.
We were supposed to see him in Catch Me If You Can.
I will never not be mad about that, Katie.
I'm sure he'll do something else another time.
But I want to now that it's been presented to me that I was gonna see him in Catch Me If You Can, now I want to see him in Catch Me If You Can so bad.
I hope they like do it at some point in the future.
Because not only do I just like want to see Catch Me If You Can like live and then like in person, because I never have, but like, and it's like one of my favorite shows, but like I want to see Corbin Bleu in anything, so I just feel like that's like perfect.
I saw him as Seaweed in Hairspray at the Hollywood Bowl, and I also saw him as Sky in Mamma Mia at the Hollywood Bowl. So I've seen him in a couple things.
I just almost started
so
crying
good.
thinking about seeing him as Seaweed. I just almost started weeping.
No, when I tell you that like it was 2011, the 2011 Hairspray Hollywood Bowl cast, phenomenal, because it was Marissa
Right.
Winokur, Harvey Firestein as Tracy and Edna.
Amazing.
It was Drew Carey as Wilbur.
Interesting.
It was
I
Diana.
don't know how I feel about Drew Carey.
I like him. I think he was also Amos in Chicago at the Hollywood Bowl.
Like, I don't have anything
Very good.
Like, there's nothing bad about him, but I'm also like, do I like him?
He's fine.
Yeah, like I got no beef with him, but I'm also like, I don't really have an opinion, I guess.
And then Diana DeGarmo was Penny.
Love.
Penny's
one of my dream roles.
John Stamos was Corny.
That's amazing.
Nick
James
Jonas.
Marsden is the best Corny ever, but
oh, for sure. James Marsden,
Stamos is
love of my life.
James Marsden is like, weirdly, me and my sisters all have a thing for him because of like Hairspray and 27 Dresses.
Hairspray, 27 Dresses, Enchanted,
yeah.
All of those things. He really popped off in like 2005 to 2009.
And now I'm just like, okay, but have you seen the movie The Loft?
No.
Highly recommend. It's actually pretty good. Like, it's, a lot of people don't like it. I think it's really good. But it's very like sexy and very like, it's a thriller. It's very sexy. There's like murder, but it's not like scary. But it has James Marsden, Eric Stonestreet, and a few other people. It's like really interesting, but James Marsden's really hot in it, so highly recommend for James Marsden fans. The Loft. Also, Walk of Shame with Elizabeth Banks. That's a really funny movie with James Marsden too.
Or Hop.
I love that movie.
Never seen it.
My mom took me and my sister to see it in theaters when it came out, and I have it on DVD because there's something that is so perfectly camp about that movie that I had to own it.
I'm very excited for this Disenchanted.
I'm so excited for Disenchanted. Oh my god. Maya Rudolph? Are you kidding?
I'm so excited for it. The fact that they're all coming back, it's like Patrick Dempsey and Amy Adams and Adina and James Marsden. Like, those are the four that I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But not who was the witch in that one? Was it Susan Sarandon?
Who?
Susan Sarandon?
Was it Susan Sarandon?
I think it was Susan Sarandon who played the witch. Let me see. Yeah, Susan Sarandon.
Why did I never put that together?
I want to know why that's not on Disney Plus. Disney
Plus dropped.
Disney, please, put it on Disney Plus. You're gonna put Disenchanted on Disney Plus?
So put Enchanted on Disney. That's probably what they're waiting for. They're gonna put it on right before.
But okay, speaking of James Marsden, let's talk about the Hairspray like movie cast recording soundtrack. For movies, it's soundtrack.
Let me freaking tell you, Katie, I listen to it daily. It is on like all of
we know you have a thing for John Travolta.
What?
Well, we know you have a thing for John Travolta.
I have a huge thing for Zac Efron. I would die for Zac Efron. Here's the thing. So like, I'm so picky about Link. Link is like one of my favorite musical theater men, and he has to be cast correctly or I won't like the entire production. Like, I'm like so picky about Link. And Amber too, because like Amber is one of my absolute dream roles, has been since I was a child. Like, you have to cast Amber correctly. So, and I will say this, as much as I love Ariana Grande, my Queen of Queens, I think Dove Cameron should have been Penny in Hairspray Live, but that's a whole other conversation. Imagine how that would have been.
No, I like Dove Cameron as
I did too.
Amber.
I loved her as Amber because her and
Kristen Grande as Penny though.
Well, here's the thing though, is I loved her as Amber solely because her and Kristen Chenoweth as like a
Yeah.
mother-daughter is my favorite thing to ever happen in
Yeah.
anything.
They
And the
should
fact that
always
it's happened
say
twice
mother-daughter
now,
forever.
the fact that it's happened twice now is perfect to me. So anyways, so I didn't like Hairspray live, and I like to say that it's because of all the technical issues, and it just like made me mad because like I kept having to turn my TV up all the way to be able to hear anything on it and then mute it during commercials, otherwise I'd be like having them scream at me. I like to say that that's the reason, but the true reason is I feel like they didn't make Garrett Clayton big enough as Link. I feel like he just like wasn't it. And I love Garrett Clayton. So like I wanted it so badly to work and it just didn't. That fell through for me and I didn't like that. And but freaking Derek Huff as Corny Collins made me feel something. I loved Derek Huff as Corny Collins. But again, Garrett Clayton was not Link for me, and I didn't like Hairspray Live, and I think that that's genuinely the reason why I didn't like it.
Okay. I watched it once, said okay, and then
I watched it while it was airing, and then that was enough for me. I haven't watched it since. I feel like I should at some point rewatch it, but I don't think I need to. But
I liked that. Who was didn't they make who was Mr. Pinky in that? Who was Wilbur in that?
Wilbur was Martin Short.
Okay. Perfect. That's great.
And I remember being really excited about it, and then watching it, I didn't like it.
I love Martin Short.
I adore Martin Short. I think he's so amazing, but like there was something about it that just fell through for me. I don't know what it was. I feel like he would have made a really good Mr. Pinky.
Sean Hayes was Mr. Pinky.
I
love
Sean Hayes.
I love that Andrea Martin was Prudy.
Yeah.
Love that.
I forgot about that.
I'm on the I'm on the Wikipedia page for it.
But Hairspray the movie.
Jennifer Hudson is Motormouth Mabel?
Yes, and it was amazing. She was the best part of it.
I saw it once and it's completely left my head.
She's the best part of Hairspray Live. Like she was amazing. The Hairspray movie was such a huge part of my childhood.
Oh, absolutely.
That I have this like insane connection to it. And a lot of people hate it. And I don't get it.
I literally have a poster right here.
I don't get why people don't like it.
There's some weird changes from the stage show to the musical.
You know what my favorite
to the movie is? What?
Lady's Choice.
I do love Lady's Choice.
I wish Lady's Choice was in the stage musical. I think Lady's Choice is one of the best songs. I love that song. And maybe it's just because Zac Efron kills it every time I watch it.
Well, that's the thing. In the movie or in the stage show, Link's song is "It Takes Two,"
and then they're doing the Madison.
Yeah,
during the
In the movie, they're doing they still have "It Takes Two." Kind of, it's on a TV that Tracy like is watching.
I love "It Takes Two," so that kind of broke my heart.
I'm okay with it if we're gonna get Lady's Choice instead.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I was okay.
I do love "It Takes Two." "It Takes Two" is like, love it.
But it just oh God, the way that made me adore Zac Efron. Like
I already loved Zac Efron because like I already loved him, but then like Hairspray, I don't know what it was, but like
he was beautiful and his voice was fantastic, and
he just killed it. Like he is such a good Link.
He is. And the thing is, like, it happened at like the right. I truly think that movie put together the best of the best. Like, you could not cast a better version of that movie.
Absolutely agree with that.
Because you had at the time the best Tracy.
She was amazing. I love Nikki Blonsky.
Yeah. I think that
but I don't like Tracy.
I think casting John Travolta as Edna was a fantastic choice because we knew he could sing.
I'm gonna have to wholeheartedly agree with you on that, Katie.
I feel like people got like weirded out by him in drag, but like
was
it
perfect.
worked. I thought Christopher Walken as
Amazing.
yes, I would say if there was a weak link in the cast, it may have been him. But even then, like it truly felt like he and Edna
Because
loved each other.
they had such good chemistry. Like
had
him and John Travolta had
amazing-
amazing chemistry.
Yes, they
Not
had.
as good, I will say though, not as good as Keegan Michael Key and Meryl Streep's chemistry. But that's a whole nother discussion because that nothing will ever touch that chemistry. Like if you know what I'm talking, if you've watched the Prom movie,
Yeah, Keegan Michael Key and Meryl Streep had fantastic chemistry.
they were like, I was low key when I watched it. I was like, are they like having an affair? Like, on the side? Like I was fully like, are they like low key just like behind the scenes having an affair? It's like something about this. No, I just want to rewatch the Prom just to watch them.
I just so who else is in this? Oh my gosh, I pressed the wrong button. Queen Latifah as Motormouth Mabel.
I was gonna say you're forgetting Queen friggin' Latifah.
I would never forget Queen Latifah.
You know who else you're forgetting? Brittany Snow.
Brittany Snow as Amber, fantastic.
That's what made me love Amber so much was Brittany Snow as Amber because like I had heard the Hairspray like Broadway cast recording before I saw the movie, and as we all know, I'm not the biggest Laura Bell Bundy fan, but then I saw Brittany Snow as Amber, and I said, "That's my role. Mm-hmm. That is my absolute dream role," and it's still to this day is like one of my top dream roles.
Yeah. Also, Allison Janney as Pretty Pinkleton.
Amazing.
So good, so good, so good.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
The thing is, we knew all of these people like could sing because they had done like musical-y things before.
Yeah.
As we have Grease 2, High School Musical, Queen Latifah. It was obviously, you know, an award-winning.
Queen Latifah. Hello.
I don't know if she actually has awards, but she's Queen Latifah.
She's amazing.
Zac Efron, High School Musical. James Marsden, I don't know if we knew he could sing, but like he had done, like since he's done.
Was Enchanted before or after her?
Enchanted was 2008.
So it was around the same time.
It was around the same time. And then Brittany Snow has, you know, since done the Pitch Perfect movies. Elijah.
I want to do an episode. I want to do an episode where we discuss Pitch Perfect because I have recently ignited my love for the Pitch Perfect franchise.
Yeah.
And I want to do an episode where I just gush about Pitch Perfect.
Elijah Kelly. I didn't know if.
Don't even get me started.
He was so good. Also, he was the Tin Man in The Wiz Live. He was fantastic.
He was amazing. Let me tell you. So when I was a child, I loved Zac Efron. I was so excited about Link. I was like so into Link as a kid. But every time Seaweed would come on,
his voice, my
little 7-8-year-old self would melt. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely melt over Seaweed. I still melt over Seaweed every single time. Like every time I listen, like I watch Ephraim Sykes in Ain't Too Proud stuff, I'm like, yes, because he was such a good Seaweed too. Like, oh my God. Amazing.
And then of course, Amanda Bynes as Penny.
My favorite casting choice. Like out of everyone, I think that was my absolute favorite thing that ever happened.
Also, unfortunately, it's one of the last things she's ever done.
But what a legacy.
It was truly I
don't know if that's her legacy, but what a legacy.
I know. She was so good.
So good.
Every time I think about Amanda Bynes, I just get sad.
I get so sad because I adore Amanda Bynes.
Me too. She was so good.
I know. She was also such a huge part of our childhoods.
Absolutely. The Amanda Show, all that. What a Girl Wants.
What a Girl Wants?
What's the TV show she did with Jenny Garth?
What I Like About You. It's on HBO Max. Fun fact. I found out today.
Anyway, the Hairspray movie, fantastically cast.
It's God tier movie musical.
It is. It is so good.
It's so good. And now I feel like my standards for movie musicals are so high. Modern movie musicals are so high because of Hairspray.
Also, it even looks the style of it is fantastic.
I don't think, and I think that a lot of movie musicals are really good, but I feel like they miss the whole stage to screen adaptation situation. Les Mis, I'm oh, this is beautiful. This is Les Mis, but it
Les Mis moves songs around, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't want to discuss that. but but like at the same time when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh, this is a good movie. I'm not like, this is a good musical. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't feel like I'm watching a musical. I can hear it, like I can tell it's a musical, but it like doesn't look like a musical to me. Whereas Hairspray, it's so like bright and like, but it's also just like the type,
It's
I
also
guess.
like dingy though in certain parts.
Right, like it's just like I don't like it genuinely it gets the vibe of like the stage musical and like what you feel when you see the set of Hairspray, and it like perfectly translates in the movie.
I was wondering where they filmed it. They filmed it in Toronto
Do you
and
know what's so
Hamilton.
funny?
What?
So my friend and I were talking today about Grease, the movie, which as we all know is like one of my favorite movies ever. Anything John Travolta does makes me happy. But Grease was like the majority of my childhood revolved around Grease. Um, and we were talking about how she was listening to Colleen and Eric's podcast, Relax. And she was like, they were talking about like movie musicals. And they were talking about Grease. And she goes, and I laughed because Colleen was like, was Grease the movie first or the stage musical first? I was like, no, a lot of people don't realize that it was a stage musical first because the movie is so much better. And I think that it's so rare that like a movie musical would be better than the stage version, but Grease did that.
So did Chicago.
Okay, thank you. I felt like, okay, I feel like I'm the only person that thinks that, so I'm very glad that you said that. No one agrees with me. Everyone I say that to is like,
If
the
Queen
movie
Latifah is in it, it's better.
like, it's Queen Latifah, Richard Gere. Are you kidding me? It's so
Catherine
good.
Zeta-Jones, and Renee Zellweger.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is so good.
Taye Diggs.
The movie is so good, and no one agrees with me on that. So I'm so grateful for you, Katie.
Queen Latifah was nominated for an Oscar for that movie. That movie won Best Picture.
Exactly. It's so good. And I'm like, and the stage version's boring to me. I'm sorry, but
yes,
it's
it is
boring.
a little boring. Yeah.
I love Chicago so much. I really do, but the stage version is boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because like there's no set.
But that's like, I feel like that's par for the course with a Candor and Ebb musical.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't like I even have the book, like I even have the libretto. Hold on.
No, but yeah, I definitely agree. Or I definitely think that the movie Chicago is better.
I read the libretto like fairly recently, like last year for the first time. And I was like, the movie's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just is. I'm sorry, but it is.
I think if I had to like decide what was the okay, let's talk about this. What musicals do we think the movie is better?
Grease, Chicago. Depending on the production, Hairspray.
Fair.
Because like I love a lot of the original Broadway cast, but I hate Matthew Morrison and I don't like Laura Bell Bundy. So like the original Broadway cast recording is hit or miss for me, and like I've seen a lot of really great Hairspray bootlegs that I think are better than the movie, but then I've also like seen a couple productions of Hairspray that I think are worse. So it's like, however, my high school did Hairspray and it was amazing. It was very, very good because we were able to cast it correctly. So it was very good.
Okay, I'm going to pull up a list. Okay, Chicago, better. Rent.
Sometimes I like it more, sometimes I don't.
I think it depends on
I think it depends on the scene and my mood.
Yeah. And also what you saw first, because I saw the movie first and I loved it. And then I think the movie is more digestible.
Yeah, I agree. But I also like when I saw Rent live, I had a really bad experience, and so I think that also plays a part into it. So like where I did see the movie first, I do have like a soft spot for the movie. I do really like the movie.
Valid. Into the Woods.
I don't know.
I think the movie did a very good job.
I think it's a really good movie.
However, both productions of Into the Woods that I have seen blew me away.
Well, and I think that's just because it's Stephen Sondheim, babe. Like, I think it's just
I saw okay, so the first production of Into the Woods I ever saw was the
yeah.
Fiasco Theater production that was touring a couple years ago. I'm gonna say like not 7, maybe. No, I don't know. However many years ago. And it was so inventive because it felt very much like it was very bare bones, but it was also
Mhm.
like Rapunzel's hair was a mop. So it was like using
Oh,
found
interesting.
objects. And Milky White was a person.
Oh,
And it was very, very I wonder if I can like find any like press stuff
that's
and
so
I'll send
camp.
it to you.
That's
It was
like
very, very good.
I feel like Into the Woods is like just so campy in its own sense. Like just the musical itself is very campy, and so I feel like you can do so many different things with it and make it like amazing.
And then the second production I saw was the Hollywood Bowl production, which was
Amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
Skylar Astin, Sutton Foster, Patina Miller, Sierra Bogus,
I wanted to see
Diane
it just
Jackson,
for
Chris
Patina
McCartman.
Miller.
She was so good. And
Like she was like the whole
Matarazzo as
reason.
Jack. Oh my god.
Awesome.
That cast, phenomenal.
I just think that I think it's another one of those where it's like depending on the production, the movie can be better, but the movie's also kind of like on par with them, I think, at
Yeah.
the same time. Like, because I love the movie because I love Emily Blunt, I love Anna Kendrick, I love
James Corden.
obviously I love Chris Pine more than life itself. I love like Chris
you love
Pine.
Meryl Streep, you love James Corden.
Yes. No, how dare you? How dare you, Katie? I love what's the kid? Who's the kid that played Jack? He was in Les Mis.
I
Daniel
don't know.
Huddlestone. He's great. Like I just think that the majority of the cast, other than, you know, the couple of men that I'm not a big fan of.
Billy Magnuson.
Billy Magnuson blew me away, Katie. I love him. And I think it's so funny. I said that I was watching like parts of Into the Woods the other day because parts of that movie are like comforting to me, like on the steps of the palace. A lot of the scenes with like Rapunzel and her prince, and then like um agony, obviously. So I was like texting her, I was like, do you know what's really funny? And she's like, what? And I was like, I think it's so funny that like in any translation or any adaptation of Rapunzel, her prince is a simp. He's like absolutely like but that's my favorite thing is like I love that because I love Flynn Rider, I love Rapunzel's prince and Into the Woods. Like I just think that they are the cutest, most perfect men, and I love how they're written, and it just makes me really, really happy because they just want to like give everything to her. Like they're just like, I want you to have the whole world.
Yeah.
And I love it. But like Flynn Rider and the Rapunzel TV show, art, because he's not Flynn, he's Eugene, and I love it. It's so cute. Highly recommend watching the TV show. That's on. It's all on Disney Plus. It's so good.
Okay.
Jeremy Jordan's in it.
Yeah.
Fun fact. A lot of Broadway people are in it, actually.
Yeah. Because Zach Levi, Eden Espinosa, yeah, they're all in it.
Yeah, a lot of people in it.
Okay.
So
Hairspray, we talked about. It's like, it depends. But that movie
but
is
the movie is god tier.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera, never seen the stage show. So like
I haven't seen the stage show, but as someone who does not like Phantom of the Opera, it depends on the movie.
Well, the Emmy Raver Gerard Butler one.
Everyone hates that one, but I don't hate it. That's
I don't
the only
mind
one
it.
that I actually like am okay with.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Les Mis.
I think if you love Les Mis, you prefer the stage version. Because I personally, the only parts that I will go, like if I'm gonna rewatch Les Mis the movie, I usually only watch like parts with like some of Anne Hathaway's parts, the Barricade Boys, and then like maybe a Hugh Jackman scene here or there. Like I'm like it's just like pieces and parts of it are amazing.
Yeah.
Like the parts with the Broadway actors and like West End actors are amazing. So like
I think
Barricade Boys.
the casting, like especially casting Sacha Baron Cohen and Helena Bonham Carter as the Thénardiers, fantastic. I was like, that's perfect casting.
Here's a little here's not conspiracy, controversy for you. I don't hate Russell Crowe's casting.
All right.
You know?
Okay.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think he gave his all, and I think that that is what is important.
Okay.
I think more people need to respect the hustle.
Sweeney Todd. Never seen either.
I'm not a big Johnny Depp person, so but the movie is really good. But I'm not a big Johnny Depp person. So
Dreamgirls. I've only ever seen the movie.
I have seen the stage version at some point. I don't remember when it was. I don't remember where, but I think that they are on par.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think casting like Jennifer Hudson and Beyonce in
Yeah.
that movie was great casting. And who was
I'm
the
not a
other
big
one? Was it
Beyonce
Nika
person,
Noni
but I
Rose?
loved her in Dreamgirls. I loved her in Pink Panther. Have you seen the Pink Panther
Wait,
movie?
who?
Beyonce. I don't love like I'm not a big Beyonce person, but like
I like
in
Beyonce as an
Panther-
actress.
And Pink Panther and Dreamgirls, yes, absolutely. I'm a Beyonce fan.
Who was the third Dreamgirl? Was it Anika Noni Rose?
Part of me wants to say yes just because I love that. And if I'm wrong, make it happen.
Yeah, it was Anika.
Okay. I was like, I believe it is. I was gonna say if it wasn't, we need to redo the movie just to have that.
Okay, Mamma Mia. I think they're on par with each other.
Love them. I love them.
I love both
the
of them.
Mamma Mia movies. Love both of them. I think they are so much fun and they make me so happy. The casting is perfect.
It is truly, I would say, one of the greatest films. I used to be like, oh, it's my guilty pleasure. My dad hates it. And I used to be like, it's one of my guilty pleasures. He mainly just hates Pierce Brosnan singing in it.
How dare he?
I understand where he's coming from.
No, I get it.
Mind it.
No, I get why he hates that. I get it.
But I love the Mamma Mia movie.
I think my favorite contradiction in Mamma Mia and the like Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is who is it that plays a young Sam in the second movie?
I don't know. One of the
He's
guys
a great
in
singer.
is
I think he's a great. No, that's Hugh Skinner. He's
Harry.
But the guy that played Sam, I think he's a great singer. I love his voice. I think it's beautiful. And then you have like old Sam, played by Pierce Brosnan, who cannot for the life of him carry a tune.
You know what? I can't picture young Sam in my head. I need to figure out who this guy was.
Please Google it, Katie, because that's embarrassing. Pierce Brosnan, though, I love Pierce Brosnan so much that I am okay with the fact that he can't sing because I just skip over SOS.
That's such a good song. It
is, but I skip over it in the movie because I'm like, no, Pierce Brosnan, get vocal lessons.
Jeremy Irvine.
He's cute.
Why would he choose Irvine as a last name? Because that's not his first last name. Well, his full name is Jeremy William Frederick Smith.
Oh.
And he goes by Jeremy Irvine. Why would he choose a random government-started suburb of Southern California in Orange County?
Because isn't he British?
Yes, everyone in that film is British, aside from like.
But I don't think he knows. I don't think he gave a shit that it was in California. Katie's brain is always like West Coast, Best Coast.
And I'm right.
No, you're not.
No, it's just, I swear to God, the city of Irvine, it started as like a government project, I think. It is very like sterile. If you see the movie Palm Springs,
yeah,
there's like J.K. Simmons' character. He goes, I live in Irvine, the greatest place on earth.
Yeah.
I like, huh?
That movie was so funny.
The thing is, Irvine is beautiful, but it does feel like, because I have to do some things at UCI sometimes, and I'm like, I feel like I'm on a different planet sometimes. It feels so like manicured. It feels very like upkept.
Like Pleasantville?
Yes. Swear to God.
That makes sense. But also, okay, so with Mamma Mia, I think it's also just one of those things where it was like, as a society, we've all just fell in love with Mamma Mia.
Oh, I feel like it's very recent too, but I've loved it since 2000.
I've loved it since it came out. Like I'm pretty sure all of us like went and saw it in theaters. Like
I did.
Like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure like my whole family, like, we all went. But like, I love it. Like I love that movie. I love both the movies. I didn't like the second one at first. I will say that though.
Oh, I loved it.
The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, I prefer the songs in this one. Like, I definitely think the music was like the song choices were better in the second one. As much as I love all the songs, like it's not saying that I don't love all the songs in the first one. I love all the songs in both the movies, but I thought that it like meshed better with the storyline almost in the second movie. But the first time I saw it, I don't know what, I think it was just because I was tired or something. I was like, I feel like I can't keep track of what's happening. I don't know why I felt that way, but I did. And then I saw it like 2 days later again in theaters with my best friend. And I was like, I love everything about this. Like, I was like so into it. I think I was just like tired the first time I saw it.
Fair. Newsies doesn't really count. Well, Newsies was
I don't count Newsies.
Because Newsies was reversed. It was a musical movie that became a stage show.
And I love both.
Yeah. The Prom. I think the Prom movie was very well done.
Yeah, we didn't really have a lot of bad things to say about the Prom movie because I had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I feel like that's the point. Like, you're supposed to have fun in that musical.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel it, but you're also supposed to have fun, and I loved it.
Grease, the movie. We choose the movie.
As a society, everyone agrees with me on that. The movie is better.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees with that.
Oh, here's the one that I'm heated about. Rock of Ages.
I hate the movie. Hate it.
I don't understand. Like Adam Shankman did such fantastic work on Hairspray, and then he goes.
Adam Shankman did such fantastic work in every other movie he's done.
I just don't understand why they completely changed the story.
Not only that, they cast Tom freaking Cruise in a musical.
Fun fact, when I saw the Rock of Ages tour, he was at that performance. Like,
that's hilarious.
He was at that performance.
Was he embarrassed? Because he should have been.
He was probably doing like research.
I hope so, but guess what? It didn't work. I just think it's so funny that like everyone hates on Russell Crowe as Javert.
No, he was fine. Oh,
he was fine.
Sorry, I thought you said Russell Brand as Lonnie.
Oh no, Russell Crowe Javert, I have no major beef with. I think he did his best, and I think as an actor he was amazing. As a singer, that's one other story. But why are we not, as a society, hating on Tom Cruise in Rock of Ages? Why are we not hating on most of the Rock of Ages cast? Because
I don't mind the cast. I'm so upset with what they did with the story.
Well, I'm upset with what they did with the story, but they cast weird people.
That's true.
Weird people. Why are
Alec Baldwin as
weird
Dennis? What was that?
Alec Baldwin and Tom Cruise in musical movies. What is that?
I don't know.
And I wish that as
Mary J. Blige was the only redeeming factor.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Because, and this is another thing that I have, because like I said, I don't like Julianne Hough. I didn't like her. I think she ruined the 2011 Footloose. I didn't like that movie anyways, but I think she was the reason why. And then Rock of Ages, yuck. Get out. Go be in a different movie that I hate. Go be in a musical that I don't like. Get away from my favorite ones.
It just bothers me so much that they completely screwed with the story. Like, that's what bothers me the most. They made it so bad.
And it's so funny because like a lot of people like they don't. Okay, so like I'm looking
at this poster, which they did almost essentially exactly like this, like Who's Who Behind the Do thing. They have Russell Brand, rocker, Tom Cruise, legend.
I know exactly
Catherine Zeta-Jones, Puritan. Julianne Hough, dreamer. Alec Baldwin, I think that's who that is. Boss man. Then they have Malin Acker. Is that how you say it?
Is Alec Baldwin boss man? Is that what it says?
Yes, it says boss.
He's boss baby.
And it says, I think, what's her name? Is her name Malin Ackerman?
I have no idea.
She it says reporter. I have no memory of her in this movie. Zero. Just like they have Paul Giamatti as manager. I have no memory of him being in that movie.
He was in that?
Apparently.
Should we rewatch Rock of Ages?
We should rewatch Rock of Ages.
And then, like, to cleanse ourselves, I'll find us a nice bootleg.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
Mel
I
and
think I have a Rock of Ages bootleg with Nick Cordero somewhere.
And then they have a monkey as Heyman. I don't remember this. And then they have Mary J. Blige as Diva, which is the only acceptable part of this. They don't even have the guy that played Drew on this poster.
I just
the main
like
character.
As someone who wasn't like an outright Rock of Ages fan, I was more of like a closet Rock of Ages fan. I really wish that they had done better.
Oh, so do I.
It's just such a good musical. It's such a good musical, and it's the movie.
It was really cool. I will say this: it was really cool to like see it in Hollywood, like actually see it in Hollywood. Considering that's where it's like based, and I really hope that the like immersive production comes back, the one that was starring Nick Cordero, and like Frankie Grande and all of them. I really wanted to see that, and I really hope that can come back.
I remember when they announced that, I was like,
oh yeah, exactly. I was so excited.
Like, that just sounds so good. Yeah.
So if they
I would have given anything.
If that comes back and you come to LA sometime,
it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna make me sad, but okay.
It'll be so much fun. Okay.
It's gonna make me sad.
What's the next one that's up? Okay. So, Little Shop of Horrors. I think they're on par.
I like it. Yeah. I think I'm not a big Little Shop fan though. So like I think that they're like, I like them.
Yeah, it's fine. Moulin Rouge doesn't count because it was a movie musical that became a stage show.
But both of them are amazing.
Yeah. Guys and Dolls, I've never seen either.
I saw a production once, like a long time ago. I don't remember anything from it. I just remember bops. Like, Guys and Dolls is not a good show, but it bops. So
okay, here's one I want to get your opinion on. West Side Story.
Okay, I would love to discuss this with you, Katie. So I had never seen it on stage until summer of 2019, which I think, okay. The movie is one of my favorite films to ever exist. I love the movie, and I'm very excited for the remake. Aside from Ansel Elgort as Tony, I'm very, very excited about the new movie because literally everyone else in it is perfection as who they're cast as, and I'm just very into it. I'm so excited. And the original movie, yes, it is, problematic in the casting, but it is still something that is so loved by so many people in the theater community that it is something that we've just kind of been like, yeah, but also it's beautiful and perfect because it's like so good. And I have this weird fascination with the colors in West Side Story. Like, have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so like how beautifully colorized it all is. And it's like, because it's very dim lighting for the majority of the film, but the colors are very bright and they're very saturated. And I love that because it's also like one of the reasons I love La La Land so much, or I haven't seen it in ages. When it came out, I was obsessed with La La Land. And I think it was because I felt like the West Side Story influences in the movie because it's so bright and like colorful and just like very musical. Like, this is a musical. And West Side Story, the movie, I personally think it's one of those that can be on par but can also be better. I don't think it'll ever be worse than. Do what?
Depending on the production?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll ever be worse than a production. I think it'll either be on par or better because the production I saw was amazing. It had like Colton Ryan as Tony was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I was thrilled that he was like my first like live Tony. I was so happy with that. I think that the new revival of West Side Story is a joke, and I don't want to discuss that. So, but every other production based on like compared to the movie, I think it's on par or better than productions.
Okay.
So, That was like a long-winded answer, but that's
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. Okay. I feel like that's where we should like wrap it
Is
up.
it all of them?
No, absolutely not. But
Okay.
like,
I was like,
gotta save some for another time.
I have a whole binder of musical movies, Katie.
No, yeah, I mean, there's still like last
Should we
year's
do an episode?
Cats.
Should we just do an episode on like golden age musical movies?
Sure. You know what? We should do that around when Schmigadoon comes out.
Well, the episode before Schmigadoon, we're gonna watch Brigadoon and discuss it because I've never seen Brigadoon.
Neither have I.
I've never seen it or heard it.
I only know like a couple of songs from it. But yeah, like there's still like Bye Bye Birdie, Kiss Me Kate, Jersey Boys, King and I, My Fair Lady, Evita, Hello Dolly.
A lot of them are very much golden age.
Sound of Music, Fiddler. Like there's a lot we still didn't touch. The Producers we didn't touch. So, Funny Girl we didn't touch. So like yeah, we can do a whole thing on those.
We're gonna have a whole episode centered around Schmigadoon. And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. All right. But let's wrap this up.
Yes.
Jill, where can people find us online?
As they say in Hairspray, let's wrap this mother up.
It's time to wrap this mother up. Okay. Where can people find us, Jill?
On Instagram and TikTok at Thoughts Shared Podcast. And I am at It's Jill Hayes on all social media platforms.
And if you want to follow me, hi, I'm Katie. You can follow me on Instagram at Complete Katie or on TikTok at Katiefornia. Always a fun time over there. But yeah. All right. Well, talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.